Harper Perennial and Harper Audio present Strangers at the Red Door, a novel. By Dennis Bock, performed by Fajer Al-Kaisi. For Mariam. 1. When Mildred Chen entered the back office of her Hong Kong bookshop and began preparing the delivery for the crossing, she knew nothing yet of the troubles that would rise to confront her in the coming days. She was only eager to get the new delivery over the border and return home in time to help her aunt close up the shop for the evening. She worked quickly, stripping a dozen copies of a popular romance of their dust jackets, then used the covers to disguise an equal number of copies of the book that had changed her life, and would soon change it again in a way she could not begin to imagine on that late March morning. She placed the camouflaged copies in the cardboard box marked with the title of the decoy romance, secured its flaps with packing tape, and fed the original covers of the banned novel into a paper shredder. Now, the evidence safely destroyed, she carried the delivery out to the front room, where her old aunt was arranging the display window. "Don't forget to eat something over there," her aunt said. "It'll be a long day. You're always forgetting to eat something. Promise me." The bookseller named Mildred Chen was used to this gentle mothering from the woman who'd raised her since the age of 5. Her aunt was a kind and solemn woman, given to selfless worry and the long, meditative pauses of an old, tired soul. "Yes, yes," she said. "I promise." Mildred had inherited her father's easy smile and bright, inquisitive eyes, and from her mother she'd received the uncompromising idealism that could not be mistaken for naivete. Both of her parents were graduate students at Peking University when they died many years ago. She was 40 years old, spoke and read Cantonese and Mandarin with equal facility, and discussed politics with few people other than her aunt, from whom she'd learned the bookseller's trade and the fine art of book smuggling. With the box of contraband propped heavily against her chest, she exited the bookshop and hailed a cab. By now, Mildred had done enough of these day runs over to the mainland to know much more than simply where to find a decent meal in Shenzhen. She knew the routines and the temperament of many of the customs officials at the checkpoints she passed through. After dozens of crossings, she'd mastered the feigned ignorance and the nimble flirtation required to distract these men from her true purpose. Years ago, on one of her first crossings, she'd encountered a crotchety guard who went as far as to unseal her box of books in order to verify the claims she'd made on her declarations card, which, on that distant morning, stated she was carrying nothing more dangerous than an authorized biography of a well-loved Beijing pop star. Simple as it was, the strategy of the counterfeit dust jacket had proven remarkably effective over the years. And so, 35 years after the death of her parents, Mildred Chen, co-owner with her aunt of Utopia Street Books, maintained the illusion that she was a guileless purveyor of cookbooks, popular romances, fantasy and thrillers, gardening books, and sensational celebrity tell-alls. For good reason, she was called the Book Lady of Hong Kong by some of the customs agents who presided over these crossings, and this with no small degree of affection. They found her manner appealing and enjoyed the way this attractive importer of books allowed but politely resisted their fawning attentions. Otherwise stern and unforgiving in their duties, these men usually just smiled and wished her a good day. At the Luohu crossing, half an hour north of the city center, she checked the box and continued on to present her documents on the mainland China side of the border. The official in his booth issued the transit pass with hardly a glance at her paperwork. He gave her a courteous smile and waved the next traveler forward, and Mildred proceeded to the oversized luggage clearance area. While she waited for the box to appear on the carousel, she opened her phone and read a few messages for the bookstore about coming deliveries and expected returns and queries from book reps and publicists. They were all routine concerns, nothing out of the ordinary.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?